Today's Thursday, January the 14th. This is going to be abbreviated because I think that tomorrow is going to be a pretty good day. Although the futures are showing that we're down 4. I think the stimulus plan, when it sinks in, that was announced by Biden tonight, is going to be great for the economy, great for the market. The McClellan oscillator popped up because the advancers led decliners, even though, look at this, the down day on the Dow and the S&P 500, particularly towards the end of the day. The jobs report didn't help, and that came out early, but it started to sink in. But look at the advancers and decliners. Even on a down day, when the markets were all down, the advancers were higher. But let's look at the advancing volume. The advancing volume over the declining volume was significantly higher, like 3 times higher. So that's pretty impressive. The SPX, let's get rid of the woodies here. The SPX really, did nothing. So we now have 5 days in a row where we've got this little channel going on, and we could expect this to continue maybe tomorrow, and we should see a break. And I think the break would be to the upside next week. Again, we'll look at the Bollinger Bands like we did yesterday. And where are they, Bollingers? And you can see that the Bollinger Bands are not getting any narrower. They're starting to open, which means that they could move up in this direction. Square up 1.12%, but finished the day on this big wide-ranging doji. ZI had a good day. Remember, I'm short the 45 calls. So I rolled them into next week for a pretty sizable premium difference. I bought them for 173 and I sold them for 443. So that's that's a pretty good premium spread. And being cautious as I am, because Z did move up, but it finished the day down at the bottom of its range, I felt good about just rolling and staying with my 45s and looking for a solid return, on 300 shares of about $1,500. NIO, on the other hand, had a down day. Now remember, I have short 55 calls, which I thought were just going to get taken away from me. But if tomorrow's a down day for NIO, those 55 calls are rollable for additional premium. And that's what I would do. So let's just take a look, because we've got a gap here, which was created on Monday, that gap up. And did we close that gap? If we take the wick of that candle, we haven't quite closed the gap, but we did finish on Woody's pivot S2. So tomorrow, look for, at some point in the day, we're going to close the gap. So I'm going to put an alert right there. And let's see if we can't get an alert when we close that gap and then see NIO turn around and bounce back up. T had a great day, up 60 cents. Look at the wide ranging of T. Now, not only being a good dividend stock, but the news today was that 17 movies are going to be released next year. I guess they're all from Warner Brothers, but including The Matrix 4 and other big blockbusters. And they're all going to be released on HBO Max as well as cinema at the same time. That's 17 movies for next year. That gives you some indication of where the big Hollywood media is seeing movie viewership going. That may be a trend that doesn't change in the future, where HBO will be screening at the same time as theaters. Disney is already doing it. Banks were up today. Let's just quickly look at some of our new stocks. VERU did not move out of our flag. DDD, look at that. That's a 1 hour. But nonetheless, look at that pop. This was what Anne-Marie Trades pointed out. She thought that this was a great stock. Bingo, look at that. Not sure I like getting into parabolic stocks, but if you do, that's a beauty. Peloton, Boeing, still looking at cloud support, now stuck, as you can see, between the 50 and the 8. So one of those is going to win. The cloud is usually support. and we finished the day right above the cloud. Now, where's the Chico span? The Chico span has the ability to move all the way up here, so Boeing should be moving up. And lastly, RKT finally breaks above that trend line, but let's take a look at the volume associated with that for a second, and the volume was pretty pathetic. So still not a stock that I would want to own and get into. I don't see the momentum there yet. We could look at the relative strength indicator and take a look at that. You're welcome to do that. But I would look for higher volume, and certainly if you're already into RKT, this is an indication that on an update tomorrow, you should add some more.